In this video, I'll be sharing with you my take on the post-Banlist Edward Newgate deck. Personally, I've been playtesting with this deck list a lot on the OP03 sim. I'll include the link to the simulator in the description below. Also, if you want to play with me on sim, feel free to DM me on Twitter, and if I have some time, I'll play with you. Anyway, let's get on to the deck list. Firstly, we have our leader, Edward Newgate. So if you don't know what he does, its effect is at the end of each of your turn, add the top card of your life to your hand. So essentially you are playing on a countdown, and it has a 6000 base, which is quite tough to get through for normal leaders. And as for the characters, we are playing Izo, which is the searcher for the deck. On play, it allows you to search for a Whitebeard card and add it to your hand other than Izo. And then next we are playing Makino. Makino is a 2000 counter, and when you can rest her to give one of your cost 1 character plus 3000. So the most valid target for this deck will be your Izo, and it is also a 2000 counter. So we are playing 4 of her. Next we are playing for Otama. Otama on play gives 1 character minus 2000 attack, and it is also a 2000 counter. The next 2000 counter we are playing is Sanji. So we are playing 2 copies of Sanji. Sanji's effect is once per turn you can add 1 life from the top of from your life into your hand, and it gains 2000 attack plus you can attach 2 Rested Dawn onto Sanji, essentially making him into a 7000 beater. And sometimes I would like to play him going second on my first turn, so the following turn I'll have 7000 attacker and Whitebeard 6000 attacker, but usually I use it mostly for the 2000 counter and not to play him down. And then moving on to our last 2000 counter is Diamond Jozu. I only use him for 2000 counter. Its effect is if you have 2 life or less, when it has a Dawn attached to it, it gains rush. So that is all for our 2000 counter. We are playing 14 of them. And then next onto our key cards, we are playing 4 cost Marco. Its effect is it is a blocker. On KO, if you have 2 life or less, by discarding a Whitebeard card, you can essentially revive it back into the field. So this card is really important, especially in the late game when you are playing Edward Newgate, because typically at the end, during the late stages of the game, you wouldn't have any life, so you will need a blocker to help you defend from getting the finishing blow. So we are playing 4 Marco. Next we are playing 4 copies of the Whitebeard Vanilla. So I am playing a 3-1 split of Speed Jill and Atmos. Yeah, the reason why I'm playing the split is just to show the opponent that I'm playing 2 copies, but actually I'm only playing 4 instead of maybe 8 or more copies of this. Yeah, this is a really good card going second, because on your second turn you can play it down, and 6000 is a really good number to be at, especially at 4 dawns. Yeah, it's basically a beat stick. Next we are playing Marco. Interesting take for this is I'm only playing 3 Marco. Reason why I don't want to play the 4th one is because I prefer the attack over the effect. So as you can see, I'm playing 4 King Dew. Okay, but yeah, I feel in this meta game, Marco effects only applies to like Law or Zoro decks. Other than that, most of the opponent characters will usually be above 4000 or above 3000. So it's up to you if you want to play 3 copies of 4, but personally I find 3 copies to be just right for this deck. Yeah, although many lists are running them at 4. Yeah, as mentioned, I prefer the attack power, so 5 cost, 6, but this one is 7000, so I'm playing 4 King Dew. It is there for the beat stick. And next will be a new addition to Whitebeard, I believe, which is I'm playing 2 Thatch. Thatch is a 6 Dawn, 6 cost, 8k character, which is really strong in this format. So as you can tell, so far we are playing a lot of beat sticks. Next, finally the last character. We are playing for Edward Newgate. Edward Newgate effect is on play, give your leader 2000 attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. And then when he has 2 Dawn attached to it, on attack it can KO cost 3000 attack or lower character. So you usually play this with Otama if you see your opponent has a Marco on his field. So you play Otama, reduce the opponent's Marco to 3000, and then you attach 2 Dawn, swing at the opponent for 12,000, KOing the Marco in the process. So that's all the characters that we are playing. And then next, for events, we are playing 4 of this Whitebeard Pirate event, which allows you to search for a Whitebeard character card, which is almost everything in this deck. So we are playing 4 for the consistency. It allows you to dig through your deck, look for pieces that you might need. Next, we are playing 3 guard point. I'm playing 3 guard point instead of 4 because I favor the search more. So typically, if you are able to search for your key pieces, you won't really need to guard using 3k as much. And yeah, for the last card, which is definitely you need 4 copies of in the deck, would be 4 Radical Beams. So as you can see, this deck doesn't play a lot of removals such as V-Star, Seaquake, 5 Fist or even Jet Pistol. The only form of removals we play comes in the form of the 5-cost Marco and Whitebeard. This deck relies on big bodied characters to push for games. It definitely is not as strong as when Moby Dick was still legal, but this deck is still very much viable. Personally, I would rank it in tier 1.5 because it has good matchup against anything that is not black. When playing Whitebeard, personally I prefer going second, but I'm perfectly fine with going first. So the key cards to look out for during a starting hand would be definitely your Izo and your Whitebeard event cards, like I mentioned earlier, to dig through your deck and get pieces such as your blockers and even your Edward Newgate. These are the 2 important cards that you want to see, that you always want to see in your opening hand. Although I mentioned earlier that I've played with this deck a lot, I'm still learning the most optimal way to play Whitebeard and also the most optimal deck list. So feel free to leave a suggestion or feedback in the comments. Also, you can expect a better video for this list up somewhere later this week. I haven't posted a battle video for a while as I was still preparing a template for the battle videos. So once that is done, battle video uploads will resume as usual. And with that, if you've enjoyed the video or found this video helpful, do drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Do follow me on Twitter where I post more One Piece TCG content such as information on OP03, tournament winning deck lists and more. Once again, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.